As artificial intelligence becomes more readily available, its applications are virtually unlimited. But what about how AI is used in an election year or politics in general? Well, joining us here in the Daybreak studio to talk about AI is Lee Rosh from Leader Ethics. Welcome to Daybreak, Lee.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for coming. Leader Ethics, what can you tell us about that organization first?
Okay, we're in our 7th year. We're a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization. We're committed to promoting ethical leadership among elected officials. And we are obviously concerned that we have a very important election coming up, and we want to do everything we can to promote integrity in that election process. And so artificial intelligence is one of those layers that we have to be focusing on.
Right. So those layers, what is AI's place in politics, and how do you think it could affect this 24 election coming up?
Well, artificial intelligence in itself isn't a bad thing, but in the political environment, particularly when it's really a hotly contested election, it can be misused. And it's very powerful. It can simulate someone's voice or their visual images, and in a time frame right up before the election, it could be a factor that could sway some people. And so we're trying to give people that heads up now so that they can be more aware and prepared and perhaps do a better job in fact checking before they just jump into changing their views on something prior to the election.
Okay, and I understand you have a seminar coming up to just talk about just that, right? So what can you tell us about that seminar?
Well, our featured speaker is Miles Taylor. Miles Taylor was formerly in a senior security and technology position with Google. Later, he became a chief of staff member in the Trump administration with the Department of Homeland Security, and now he's starting up a business called the Future U.S. And essentially, he's one of the prominent national figures on artificial intelligence. He knows what's been going on behind the scenes, and he's going to help us to be better prepared. I think this is going to be really an exciting program.
Okay, so the program itself, it's a virtual program, but folks got to get registered about it. Can you tell us about that?
They should register at leaderethics.us, and it's a free program. It's available virtually at noon on Tuesday, July 9th, and I think it'll really be worth people's while to check it out.
Okay, and I guess that's basically it. That's all the time we really have for it, Lee. So I appreciate you coming on, and thank you for joining us here on Daybreak.
All right, I'm delighted. Thank you for having me.